Good afternoon, everybody. This is the Project Breakthrough Network Empire team, and it's so good to see all of your bright, shiny virtual faces pouring into the room. Very grateful that you could make it in the afternoon. I know it's a little early for some of you. Some of you prefer the evening time when you're at home kicking back with a beer or a soda or a green drink or whatever it is that you do.
All of the above.
All of the just do some sound check. Make sure you guys can hear us. Can I get a one if you should have heard Jimmy chiming in there and myself.
One.
And there's Sue. You should have heard Sue as well. Heidi, it's good to see you guys. Okay, we have people pouring in now. Good. 2,200 over here. Okay, Pedro, you must be a military person. So 22 hours, 22 hours. Okay. Hi, Jim. Good to see you guys. I don't know. I'm sharing the screen right now until we figure out how to switch over to until we decide who we're gonna have go through the questions today. I hope this is a not so subtle hint about what's happening today. One of the things I want to make you guys aware of is that the Deep Silo plugin beta test has started with a private Skype room, but you must fill out a form and application so that I can, keep it limited to a few people. And so that's something that I wanted you to know. Attendees are showing. Okay. Nobody wants to see who's actually here. Everybody wants to be anonymous. Hey, Jimmy, what was that when we got rid of the attendees last time so that attendees could not see attendees?
Oh, man, I don't even know.
Okay. I think Sue had it.
Yeah, it's under options.
Options, I see it. Okay. Attendees can view attendee list. Oh, did you just take it off already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you're fast.
Mm.
Okay, so one thing I would suggest for everybody today is that Sue is a little bit on the feisty side, and that's a really great thing because usually she's really straight to the point about things. So she's been busting her hump, creating all kinds of applications and softwares, just mind-blowing stuff. I can barely keep up, trying to find new kinds of nootropics and herbal substances to put my brain on steroids just to keep up with the development team these days. It's really extraordinary. And of course, Jimmy is an entirely different topic.
I gave you my complete list.
I've got the complete stack, and it actually does work. I'm able to sort of keep up with these guys now. And all right, so we got everybody. So here's what we're going to do. I think Sue handed the chat. I lost the oh, did you hand it to me in Skype, Sue? I guess you did. Okay. She sent it to me. Oh, there's the docs. Okay. We'll just, Sue, do you just want to do what we did last time where I hold the page up and we just kind of roll with it?
Sure. This is only this week's questions, so I'm going to go off and find last week's unanswered.
In type form?
Last week, right there.
No, yeah. I think we got through the whole list.
You got through the whole thing, yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, then this is it.
And if we didn't get to it, then they just should resubmit.
Okay. All right, well, just kind of warm up here. We have people really piling in here. I think it's because Mike Long did his thing and told everybody that we were going to release Rankizon and like at least talk to you about it. Jimmy,
maybe we should talk about Rankizon.
Well, what do you get? Well, I'm having opportunity stress. Let me see. Let me see what to do first. What would you guys? Let's just take a poll. I got to learn how to use polls on this thing. Do you guys want to leave Rankizon till the end and get through some questions, or do you want to jump right into our platform pitch on Rankizon? I don't even know how to use Rankizon, and neither does Jimmy yet, so we're figuring it all out. I've actually been too busy collecting the testimonials for it, and I was able to put one up on this page. Our beta testers already had a bump. Traffic right here is to Adrian. Thanks, Adrian. So, yeah, Dave Keys is like, what's Rankizon? Wow, we got all these questions coming in. Heidi's like, give it to me now, please. Sue, I don't know what to do. What do you want to do?
What did they say? They said first, jump in.
Well, it's about half and half.
Half and half. Well, then let's answer a few questions.
Okay.
And then we'll take a what do you call those things when you take a pause in the middle of something? An intermission.
Okay. Keith Freeborn wants to know our nootropic stack. Okay, well, there's 3 of us here, and all 3 of us have a slightly different stack.
Slightly. Mine's completely different.
Yeah, just so you guys know. Oh, yeah, Sue has her own. I really don't want to give it to you guys because it should be sold as an independent product and niche. I mean, it's just like your brain's not supposed to do that. Jimmy's is pretty intense as well. So I'm on about half of the amounts, and I've got my own little additions in there that I do.
Keep telling you just to push it. You just got to
Well,
roll the dice.
you just got to roll the dice. Jimmy's just like push through, push through. It's like I had a drug dealer used to tell me that in college, Jimmy. I'm just yeah. So, but here's the thing: is I really do think, Sue, we could probably niche market like nootropics. It's a whole different topic. I am actually going to the Bulletproof Executive Nootropics conference in October over there in California. If anybody, any of you guys are in California, I'm into that kind of stuff. And I
I'll be
learned a
there
lot.
too.
Yeah, I'm talking Jimmy into going and maybe see. So anyway, you got to keep your brain, rolling along to be able to, really kick some butt. So, Fran's saying, "Where is that?" It's in California. Okay, so Dave Keys is like, what the hell are you even talking about?
Right.
Okay, and back
I'll
to
find the
SEO.
link. I'll find it.
Guys, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have
If
gone
you
with that
don't know
topic.
what we're talking about, go watch the movie Limitless,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
you will know what we were talking about.
Exactly. And you go ahead and delete out the scene where he's drinking people's blood. That's not necessary. It's much more healthy than that.
But wait, that was my favorite part.
I knew you were going to say that. You guys remember when I told you she's in a feisty mood? It's exceptionally feisty. I've known her for well over a decade, and this is one of those days where she's extremely intense because I've never seen her push these kinds of limits. Well, I actually have. That's not true, but it's been a while. These are real limits we're pushing right now. And Jimmy's at just the same way, like 5 hours on the phone with him yesterday is crazy stuff. All right, you guys, so back to where we're going to do today. Um, let's just go ahead and roll through some of these questions, and then we'll leave the teaser with rank is on. We just got out of, are we out of beta? Sue, how does that work?
Oh yes, we're
Oh,
out
we're
of beta.
out of beta, okay. And
We're
so
going, we don't need beta.
they don't even need beta. No more betas. You guys are our beta. No, you're not. We actually have formal beta tests, as you guys will see on the Deep Silo plugin page that we're launching today, and I'll drop that link in there for you guys as well. If you feel like you're qualified to do the Deep Silo beta this week sometime, Sue's going to give a green light on that, and we're going to roll. We do have a limited number of people, and already quite a few people in there, so I just dropped that in the chat for you. But if you feel like you're qualified and you want to do that, let me know. Okay. All right, let's just jump in. Now, I'm trying to pronounce your name right. I know it's Krishna. Krishnandu, is that hopefully the correct way of saying it? Krishnandu, are you here? So generally speaking, what we'll do is you can go ahead and drop your questions. We see that many of you are dropping your questions here, and we'll try to come back to them. But if you have questions, and maybe this is your first time, I'm actually seeing quite a few new faces or digital presences here. I want you guys to know that www.omg.software, if you roll down, you can see the links to the question area. This is normally where you get questions on the spreadsheet that we cover the following week, okay? Okay, good. Yeah, Thomas, we can talk about that. it's yes and no. Okay, so if he's not here, we'll just go ahead and cover it anyways. I have a client who has many EM exact match domains, for those of you guys who don't know the acronym, for different keywords related to his niche. Each of the sites have unique content, but a similar visual theme. The About Us and Gallery links in the top of the menu of each secondary site links directly to the About Us and Gallery page of the main site. Is this a good strategy, or would it be better to have everything under one domain or keep the site totally separate? The main site is ranking well for its main keyword. The secondary pages are not ranking well for any of their keywords. Guys, what do you think? Jimmy, Sue?
Well, I would say, I mean, I think personally it'd be fine as long as those other sites are all hosted correctly. That's what I would do. It's just
Okay.
make sure that they're all on separate IPs. Either that or roll it all into one site. You could do either or.
Okay.
But since it's already set up like that, I would just make sure that they're hosted correctly. And then they could almost be like your, personal PBN secondary sites or something.
Okay. Good. Everybody got that? Wow, a lot of questions about nootropics. Everybody wants to boost their. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Jimmy. That's really awesome. Sue, did I interrupt you?
I was just going to say I dropped the link to that conference in the chat window for everybody.
Oh, the Bulletproof Executive Conference?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of persnickety. Like, I use a few of his products, but not all of them, you guys. So just don't assume that by Sue doing that we like all of the Bulletproof Executive products, because we don't.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's just, but the conference has got some interesting people there. Okay. Keith, are you here? When I use the vSilo plugin and enable comments and descriptions, okay, you enable comments and descriptions. Now you want to change out some of the videos. I have been able to replace the videos, but comments remained. How do I change the comments when manually changing out the videos? So have we updated that in the current video silo release that we're doing after this beta, or what's the story with that?
So the comments are actually part of the blog comment function, the intrinsic blog comment function.
Yeah.
So so if you look at that post, as you're changing out the video, I think by default you have to go up and click for comments to show on the post when you've got the WordPress admin section open, and then they should pop at the bottom of that page, and you can go through and do whatever you want to with them. I don't think you can actually edit a comment, but you can delete it if you want to.
Yes. Okay. I actually can't remember, so that's the word. That's hopefully that makes.
To do a demo on that? Do you want me to show them real fast?
I'll leave that up to you. Keith, does anybody need to see that, how to get rid of comments? Keith would like to see that. Okay. Do you want me to pass the screen to you, Sue, or do you want?
Yeah, hang on just a second.
Okay.
Let me open something up. Hang on.
I wasn't aware that worked. That's why I'm hesitating.
Well, it should work.
I don't believe it does, Sue. That's why I was just hedging.
All right.
I believe that was an issue that needed to be changed in the. We talk about. You guys have asked me. Several of you have asked me today the Deep Silo plugin free beta, and is that the same as the Video Silo plugin? And you read that in our newsletter. Yeah, they are two different things, but the code has been enhanced in the same way, and the video. Sue and I are still working on precisely what the name will be, but the equivalent of the Video Silo plugin also goes deep using pages, and it's just as enhanced and rewritten as the Deep Silo plugin. And it has new monetization features in it. So this might be something, if Sue's going to check this here, this might be something that we want to look at in the new one. Not sure how they pulled the comment in. That's a good question, Keith.
Okay, yeah, they're here. And I can delete them. All right, let me grab the screen.
Great, sure. You want to grab it, or should I pass it over to you?
Oh, pass it over to me, because dang if I didn't just lose my whole thing. All right, there we go. Good.
I got it to you.
Appreciate that. Screen one. All right, so let me show you how I got here, first of all. So I had to...
Chocolat.
One of the things is already
You're in one of those mood, because you're free.
So you want to come up here, you want to click on the screen options thing. I'm here under posts, right? So
yeah.
You click on the screen options thing, and you make sure the comments are displayed.
Can you see that, Keith? Yeah, exactly.
And then when I came down here, which setting is gone, so I can't turn it back the way it was, but there was comments, and then you could add a comment, and that's all. But underneath the add a comment, it says show comments. So when you click on that, then all of the existing comments unfold. And then you can come in here and
there
you
can
trash or you can edit. So you can do whatever you want to.
Do you think the edit carries over? I don't think it republishes. I think that was the issue.
Well, let me just try this.
Okay.
This is the Nick Gonzalez comment.
It even gives you the post that it was on. Okay, that should work, right? It works like any other comment feature.
Test of the emergency comment system.
Right? For the next 60 seconds, we will be testing the emergency comments.
Is Mike Hayden?
I can find a beeping tone.
Is Mike Hayden with us today? Mike, are you in the call, Mike Hayden? No, I guess he's not. He's too busy coding because Sue's got the whip cracking.
Oh,
And it's
do
like
I have whips out? Let me
4 a.m. where he's at right now.
I wanted to give Mike Hayden a shout out to Mike Hayden for busting his hump on this because it's not easy being under Sue's thumb. No, just kidding. I didn't say that. Did I say that? No, I didn't say that. So y'all have to. I gotta stop hanging out Mike Clay so much. I'm saying y'all way too much.
Y'all.
Y'all gotta stop me from doing that.
Y'all.
Mike Clay, you're busted. I want to thank Mike Hayden seriously for really diving in. This code is I can't even really. It's not that you'll lose any of the features or anything like that. It's just such another level up of development that I'm really excited about it. So
it really rocks. We've had an inherent issue with this plugin since the very first coder, and he figured out this really elegant way to actually migrate everybody to a new system that works and do it without losing anything, so that all of the data is going to.
Yeah, but Mike,
awesome.
Mike Hayden, if you're listening to this, don't let it all go to your head, okay, man? I'm just kidding. No, he's really, really cool. And one of the things I also wanted to say as part of the reason that. So what did Sue? Did that work?
It did.
I decided
on
not
my screen?
Oh yes,
this is a test of the comment edit.
Keith, can I get a thumbs up if that will suffice? I think that solves your problem. Okay, it's kind of common sense, but I had an issue with the first version, the very first version doing this, but I now see that I didn't quite do it properly, so that's all right, we're fixed. I can't wait for you guys to try out this new deep and this new video deep. It's going to be so crazy. All right, Patrick has a great question. Let's go ahead and hit that since we're here. Patrick is asking, Sue, what is the easiest way to correct a mistake made with vSilo? Patrick, when you say mistake, do you mean you add the wrong page, you add the wrong silo? Are you talking about having to delete the 3 layers because you have to delete them manually, or what do you? Can I bring you live or what? You want to bring you live?
I have an answer for that.
Okay.
Reinstall your operating system.
No, stop it. That's your answer for everything. Let me.
Colon format.
You got to be careful with these guys. They might actually. No, you guys would never do that. Reinstall your operating system.
Look, that could give you the right syntax.
I actually did that once. So when she said something, she was like, "I was kidding."
I did not.
She was like, "I was kidding." And I was like, "Oh."
Why?
All right, you guys, hang on. Dave McCormick says Windows 10.0 to be released soon. Squirrel! And a really ugly squirrel, too. Yeah, we're all just waiting on the edge of our seats for that one. Dave,
you notice how they skipped over 9, right?
Yeah, that one went straight back to mothballs. They just like... All right, they didn't even bring that out of the bubble wrap.
So Patrick said you can bring him live.
Okay, Patrick, let me just bring you on. We can have this conversation. I think this will help people. Where is Patrick?
I just smoked some salmon in my grill last Sunday. It was pretty good.
Patrick bribed us with food, y'all, just so you know. And he thinks that he's going to get extra special treatment because of that, and he's right.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. You just smoked.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you? Good.
We enjoyed your salmon. It was wonderful. We already done this. We had this conversation. I'm not gonna thank you anymore. That was enough.
No, that's fine. I'll send you something.
That was really great, man. So what's the deal? You want to know just general, like, give me a for instance so Sue can walk you through it.
Okay, for instance, I just did this, messed up or just wanted to redo a silo in what I did, it was for a photographer and it's for locations and then services, then locations. And went in, deleted the pages, deleted the posts out of the trash, cleaned it all up, uninstalled, deactivated, and deleted the vSilo, installed the plugin, and went to do the same silo again, but it was vSilo, or yeah, vSilo is what I was using. And what happened is two of the category pages showed up, and I didn't put them in. I didn't. They just kind of were there.
Because in your list of the things that you deleted, you didn't delete the categories.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
okay. Well, that answers that one.
So the way the plugin works is it creates categories as well as the static pages.
Yeah, okay.
And so that allows the URL to be formed properly when you get down onto the post level.
Okay. All right. Now, in another instance, let's say, okay, if I just want to delete either a full silo under a service, but not, well, I guess then I would just delete the pages categories just for that service silo.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. No, I think that's it. I've been playing around. I think I told you about I had some issues where this is one, and I'm not sure if this is the right place. I'm using a DC skin, and I put the any silo into the sidebar widget, but the sidebar widget only shows up on certain pages, on the silo pages. If I have other pages like let's say a testimonial page, that sidebar widget does not show up. Is that a question for Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask him.
Yeah. Also, Patrick, can you keep me in touch on that, in the loop on that one? Since
okay, sure.
the theme is, I want to make sure that we have a general minor help file association with Mike's theme, just because a lot of people use it.
Yeah. No, it's a great theme. I just, little bugs in there I just don't understand.
Well, yeah, and careful what you call them, bugs. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
One of the things we'll do is, we'll check in on that. You're actually in the new beta, the room that Sue set up for silo beta testing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and actually I'm glad that came out because I want to use that for this because I'm just redoing the whole DC skin again and re-siloing, so I'll wait till that comes out and use that.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good. All right. Thanks a lot, Patrick.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Tammy just asked a question.
Sure.
She just downloaded Simple Silo plugin and she wants to know how to install it. So
great.
show that really fast.
You would best do that, yeah.
Yeah. So you come in here to you come here to plugins, add new, and it's this tricky little thing up here where it says upload a plugin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can browse, and you can find the zip file, and you want to make sure that it's the zip file. Don't unzip it, because WordPress likes to unzip it itself. And then you just click the install now.
So you just install Video Cracking Dominator.
I know.
Oh, okay. You always go for the biggest things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything worth doing is worth doing to extreme excess.
True.
And then you hit the activate plugin, and it's all good. Now you can't activate more than one silo plugin on your blog at a time, so I can't actually activate that bad boy, but yeah.
So here's a question that has come in several times today as we launched the Deep Silo beta test room. Do we have, when, like the current free vSilo plugin, because I know we're going to beta test the new Deep Video or whatever we end up calling it, the video version of this later, right? Will these be seamless upgrades, or will they have to uninstall the old version that Dennis wrote and then do the new updates? Are they compatible? In other words, the old version, are they compatible with these rewrites?
That's a great question. I haven't actually tried installing the old one over top of the new one.
Okay.
Typically you have to uninstall. You don't have to worry about.
Yeah. So for those of you guys in the beta room, that's one of the big things on our checklist. Please try it on a site that's just make sure that you're not doing it on anything major when you're in the beta test room. Get yourself a little beta sandbox area, because it is not a free user group. Okay, this Skype room is not this is not for customers. It's for those of you who want to play around and make sure it's working before you use it on something, before you take it to market. Okay, so that's the main thing. And the reason I asked is because several of you are trying to download the free Silo builder. from the old legacy version, and you can't find where to go to do that. Sue, would you suggest that I just wait, or do you want to send them to siloblogbuilder.com and have them download that? What do you prefer?
Well, I'm tempted to say if you can wait like about a week.
Yeah.
Like this needs a good, there's so many major changes that it needs a really good beta test.
Yeah.
But it should be done in about a week because Mike's code is pretty clean.
Yeah.
So,
and if you need
so
it,
if you can wait a week, I would do that.
Yeah, if you do want it, is at siloblogbuilder.com, but I really can't, I'm really recommending that you just hold, what's that?
He's just saying that the leads page link doesn't work. So I'm just going to grab him the,
For where?
read Mark's comment.
I'm on it right now, and it works very well.
From the lead pages thing?
Mike, I don't know where you're at, but, okay, I don't really know what he's talking about. There's a lot of links everywhere. That's okay. So here's the thing, you guys. You cannot use or install Video Silo or any of our Silo structural plugins on a pre-existing site. Okay, I want to make that really, really clear. I just assumed that everybody knew that. I've had 3 or 4 people needing clarification on that this last couple of weeks. If you've got a site with a lot of pre-existing content and one that you don't want to flatten or mess with, you can't use this plugin on that. This plugin is a begin with the end in mind plugin. It is not a plugin for a pre-existing site. It's not like other plugins. You must build from the beginning up with it. Okay. Paul, I really don't know what Paul is saying. To clarify, that's the link on the page to get deep plugin. What?
Get the deep plugin.
Paul, what do you mean? I don't have control of the screen.
Oh, this one here that I just had up. This should be the video silo.
Yeah, that's the members only page though.
This is the video silo.
Okay. Yeah, and just, so you guys know, the rewrite is very, very soon. Give me one if you guys can hear me. We've had a couple people saying our audio is breaking. Okay, no. Sorry, Breach, that's just you. Okay. Looks like you're in another continent, might be having some connection errors. Okay, cool. You guys go to the Director's Cut Network Empire Hybrid room, of which I have set up specifically for you guys. If any of these things are not making sense and you want more information, just contact me on Skype. My handle is ThemeZoom, and we will drop you in the correct bucket from there. And I'm happy to help you clarify any of these things. I know there's a lot going on in this webinar, and we'll just make sure you get to the right place. Okay.
Alternatively, if you want to contact him on his cell, his number is...
Hey! My number is never answered, so that's fine if you want to do that. I stopped answering my cell phone in 2009. So, okay, I'm just...
Well, that explains a lot.
All right, you guys. Let's move on to some other topics, and we'll get you guys sorted out on the Skype room. There's people like hitting me for the Skype room right now. Let's just move on to, let's change the, should we change up a little bit, Sue, and move to the next question? Come back to you in a minute, or what do you want to?
Yeah, go for it.
Jimmy, 2 DAS questions. For those of you who are new, DAS means domain authority stacking. I have a niche that only focuses on one keyword. That's why I have no need for different sets of articles for different keyword URLs. My questions need this picture. Okay, we don't need to look at the picture.
I want to see the picture.
Because I know that's probably some prankster. Andre's dropping something like porn in there or something. Is it okay to link? In that case, Jimmy's like, whoosh, click. Is it okay to link from all tier 1 DOS properties to all money site silos, red arrows? Is it at the same, oh, okay. That's process map porn. That's concept map porn, right, Jimmy?
That's right.
Is it at the same time okay to interlink all social properties with each other? Green arrows. Great question, Andre.
Yeah, it's fine to interlink your social properties. I mean, that's natural. That's something you see out in the wild, so to say. So it's fine to do that because most everyone does that. For the keyword, I mean, is he referring to just using the same keyword inbound to all the different pages? Or is he talking about the content of the article he's creating? is the only fuzzy part.
You want to ask him?
Yeah,
You want
he
to
is
see if he's
asking.
around?
We're waiting to see if he's around.
Okay.
Can you please answer that, Andre? If you're not, we won't be able to go too much further with this. Andre. He's not here. Next.
So, I mean, so I guess I'll just answer, you know,
Yeah, generally maybe.
yeah, so generally, like, you definitely don't want to use the same anchor inbound, even though they go to different places on the site.
Okay.
But because you're, it's a total bucket of anchor text, so you don't want to do that, even though it might be going to different destinations. As far as so make sure your anchor text has diversity on it. As far as your content, I mean, technically you could write about the same content on all of them, but I would still, mix it up, have things that are related, but not necessarily exactly what you're trying to go after. So.
Okay, gotcha.
And make sure that each property is unique for its content. So
all right, cool.
I would just use those as general rules without knowing more.
Jonathan tried to add another question kind of on the back of this one, Jimmy. He says, is it okay to link from social to each different page on your site rather than just to the top level of each silo?
So they mean from the social page to each of the different pages on a money site?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, typically when people do like new posts or whatever, they'll link over to that new one that they did on their blog. So, and most of them are no follow anyway.
Exactly.
So it's not gonna hurt the money site by doing that.
Right. You mean the social platforms server side? They turn everything into a no follow.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Most all of them. I mean, some are do follow, but it just depends on the property.
It's funny, like a lot of the platforms are follow like in the beginning, like the first 6 months, and then as they get successful, they start realizing that their juice is getting jacked, and then they just turn everything off. All right, Jonathan, does that make sense? Oh yeah, he got that. That was perfect, Jimmy. I just realized there's almost 200 people on this webinar. What are you guys all doing here? Are you want
to hear about
what do you mean?
It's Rankazon. It's Rankazon. Well, we have about 20 or 30 more people than we normally do. I've just noticed the spike, Sue.
They're listening to Jimmy go on about DAS.
Everybody wants to.
Ryan's saying, Jimmy, I'm trying to. Everybody's expressing their opinion as to why they're here. Clearly, it's not me. Oh, look at this.
Or is it me?
Actually, you have some points there. Ryan's like, Russell is here? Hey, Ryan, you know how you wanted to be in this beta test? Let's see. I'm messing with you, man. I'm messing. Sue, I think they want to probably talk about Rankazon a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah, they're really bursting at the seams. This is almost like we should probably jump in.
Kurt's on. I haven't talked to Kurt for a while.
Hi, Kurt. Haven't seen you since the certification event. I talked to somebody who said that they consulted with you on traffic hospital recovery and really liked and loved your client service. Shameless pitch for certified advisor Kurt Enget, trained by Jimmy and Sue on recovery. Okay. Ryan, you're funny. Okay, so Sue, can we jump in a little bit and look at, first of all, can you just tell us like what is Rankazon? I'll drop the help page in for you guys, but I know you want to hear and get a demo. I really can't speak a lot to this because I've been in the beta, but I've also been doing other things, so I've only played around with it a little bit. I guess we can just jump right in and take a look at this.
We can. So, what is Rankazon? That's the very first part of my my help file. So,
what is it?
Rankazon, if you guys are familiar with Social Explosion, Rankazon does for your Amazon page what Social Explosion does for your blog. So, it's going to send social signals to your Amazon page. It does it very hands-free, very automatically. What happens is you tell Rankazon you subscribe, and you tell Rankazon what your seller ID is, or you give it one of the pages of your products, and it'll figure out what your seller ID is. And then it finds all of your products, and it's going to promote all of your products every month. And so let's say that you've got 10 products, and you buy a package of 1,000 credits, then it's going to put 100 signals to each one of your products every month. And it's pretty much that simple. Like it's there's a few things that a few limitations at this point because it's version 1, but we're going to have version 2 coming out in a couple of months, and it'll do more stuff. So right now it only works if you're a traditional seller. If you have products, it doesn't work for authors.
So if you have a Kindle book, we're not really ready for Kindle books just yet.
Correct.
Which I'm looking forward to for our Network Empire Kindle books we have coming out.
Right.
So yeah, that's good.
And right now, if you have a bunch of products, you can't select which product. You know, if you only have 1 or 2 or 5 that you want to promote and you don't want to promote the rest of them, you can't just select those products. But all of that will be available in version 2. So let's just jump in here for a second. Where did it go? Oh, I haven't brought it over yet. That's why. So you come in here. This is the sign-up page. I can drop that to everybody. Just before I forget. Wait, there's a droppy thingy here somewhere. And so what happens is you come in here. You know, I might just go to the beta one so that I don't have to worry about.
Oh, we're on the beta side. Okay. Yeah,
I'm going to do the beta one just because then I don't have to worry about like putting in my credit card information and all that kind of good stuff. This doesn't actually work, so don't think that you can go do this and then not have to pay for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just so everybody, just slow down for a second, okay? Just so you guys know, there's no sales page for this. The link that Sue just dropped for this is a live working version that you can purchase and use now. So just make sure you watch everything that you see today before you just jump in, because I know how some of you get. You just start firing. And this thing is really, really powerful. So just make sure you watch the entire demo so you understand exactly what's happening. Hopefully that makes sense. Thanks, Sue. Go ahead.
I'm going to take the liberty of signing you up.
Oh.
All right. So now here it asks you for your store ID, your seller ID. And so as I said, if you don't know what your seller ID is, you can just go to Amazon and hang on just a second. Let me just go find the page.
Exactly, Ryan. I have no idea.
That's a good product. So every twice in a while, you're going to get a product that's sold by more than one person. And if that's the case, then Rankazon isn't going to be able to determine which seller you are. But assuming like this is sold by one person, there's not other sellers, so this is a good example. So I'm just going to grab this URL.
Turmeric is awesome for you guys, by the way. I've tested it.
And back here at the ranch, I'm going to put in, actually, that's not where I want to put it. Hang on. I want to click on this, need help finding your seller ID. So now I can put in the URL to my store.
Click Find Seller ID.
And find seller ID. Dum 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 da 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 da. Well, this is taking way too long.
Yeah, it does not normally take that long. Did he update the beta version of this?
I don't know. Let me just go try the live one for a second.
Make him come live and do a demo.
Right?
That's one way to get the developers to be on point.
Whip his butt.
Kelly! I'm actually going to hit him in the other chat room. We call him the boy genius. He's not a boy anymore.
He's not.
Headhunted by Google.
He's got twins.
Smarty pants.
Nobody with twins is a boy.
Nobody. He's a man.
Right, so let me try a different product page. Let me just see if it's like that thing that it's unhappy with.
If I had twins, I'd probably have to get special psychological help. All right, let me see if I can find him. Nobody say that I said those things if he comes on the call.
Wait. Well, this is embarrassing. I hate it when it doesn't work.
Yeah, this is why we check before we go live. Jimmy called me and said, "Are we releasing Rankison today?" Yeah.
This worked last week.
Worked yesterday. It worked this morning. Hang on. And
Just
back
pull
to
the
some other
programmer in and whoop.
Hang on, I'm going to mute while I talk to him.
Say, oh yeah, I didn't tell you we moved it to another server.
Right? Try a new URL.
Sue, can you pass me that URL? He wants to check the parse. Can you just hand me that one?
Yep.
Or just give it to him if you're on Slack.
Give it to him too. That works.
Somebody is asking, is Rapid Crush members Jason's group get a discount for Rankison? Not at this point. We haven't had a conversation with them about it, and it's not really connected. So thanks for asking. But as you guys can see, we are just introducing it to our inner circle, which is you guys. So we don't really have any affiliations except with OMG on this. It's pretty much exclusive to OMG, okay? As we roll this out, more and more versions of this out. Hey, Sue, do you want me to cover something else while we work on this a little bit? Okay, we'll just move over. You guys, welcome to our world. I'm going to actually go back to another question that happened. And that question, I think, is really, really good. Okay, that question is Tammy. Tammy asks, deep silo beta test. You're just building your WordPress site. Would deep silo plugin be good for me, or is the level too advanced at this point? Tammy, I don't want you to think in terms of advanced or not advanced in the conversation. Let me just go ahead and move over to, I'm going to go ahead and grab back the screen while Sue is working on this. And let me hide Kelly's conversation here. Let me pull back the screen. Okay, and let me just pull up the site that we're going to, here's the way that I've organized it. And we're going to neaten this up. Again, we're just in the kickoff here with all this. So Tammy, we have 3 different kinds of plugins. Can you guys give me a 1 real quick if you can see my screen? I never know. Okay, cool. All right, no more, that's fine, good. Okay, so here's what's happening with the rewrites. We have already launched Simple Silo plugin, and you can learn all about what that's going to be our free one, okay, from now on. And the free one, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that in there for you guys just so you can bookmark it and share it with your friends or whatever. The Simple Silo plugin was a request from users because they wanted to be able to you see these Roman numerals right here, you guys? That indicates that we're using posts. This is actually a screenshot from inside the plugin. So generally speaking, when we say deep silo plugin, this is why we changed the name, these would be pages. So when you stack your silo plugin in the deep silo builder, you've got WordPress pages is what we mean. Does everybody understand the difference between a post and a page? Okay, I know that seems like a basic question, but we have a huge variation. We have hundreds of people in this room, and I just want you guys to make sure. So what we've done is in the Simple Silo Builder, we give you your home page, your silo landing page, so Inception trailer. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Inception trailer would be your silo landing page, and then since it's a Roman numeral, we drop right to the post level. So when you start filling out your posts, the post will be connected to the silo landing page directly. And that's a lot more shallow than the deep silo builder or the deep video silo builder. Okay, because what happens in those other ones, including the legacy versions that many of you are using, is these are still pages. You go one more layer deep, and then you get into posts. Okay, now what is the difference between that? When would you want to do that? Well, let's say, for instance, that you've got a money site and you're selling turmeric.com or healthyturmericpills.com. When you're wanting to rank for healthy turmeric pills or turmeric health or turmeric supplements or whatever, like we just went over with Amazon, you can build a deeper page-based silo. Now that requires a whole lot more content. You know what I mean, Tammy? Tammy, I'm specifically talking to your question. You need more content when you're building pages because coming out of the gate, those pages need to be done. So on the deep silo plugin, this would be a page, this would be a page, and then you'd also need posts underneath that. Now, the reason you do that is the deeper, generally speaking, as we show in our DWS Silo Builder software, we will tell you how many pages you generally need. It's an estimation, how many you need to rank for the silo landing keywords. So deep silo plugin requires quite a bit more content up front. And what you might want to do is if you've got healthyturmeric.com and then you've got another domain that is your blog, that's your like video blog or your vlog or your audio, your podcasting blog, or who knows, you're just updating content like healthy content every week or every day or something like that. You could have another domain and you could theme mirror from just one page talking about everything that you're selling on your main site. And then rather than having to deal with tons of content, you've just got a simple install, pretty quick to install, and then you can just do a blog roll. So every time you put something under this, you can just point back to the other site. All right, so that's really what we're looking at there. Does that make sense, Tammy? Give me a thumb up if that makes sense to you. Okay, another thing that's interesting that I want you guys to know, and I know you're anxiously waiting the rank is on thing here, so just hang on. I'm going to go back to the top here. The simple silo builder, I was just on that page, duh. The simple silo builder actually works very well with Video Kraken. Is anybody familiar with Video Kraken plugin? Okay, I guess you are. Let me just go to networkempire.com. Whoops, I don't have my secure certificate in there yet. All right, you guys, we're having a bit of a connection problem here. I'm going to pause for a second. Give me a 1 if you can still hear me. Okay, I'll be right back. Hang on a second. We got some weird stuff going on.
I can still hear you.
Oh yeah, they can too. Sorry, it's something.
David said something.
I was going to show them the screen. I'm having a bit of an issue with the server. So one thing I want you guys to be aware of is, yeah, David found the pricing, Sue, on Rankazon. That the simple silo builder was also designed to work in conjunction with Video Kraken. Okay, and what this does is it takes Video Kraken to an entirely different level. The original Video Kraken plugin that we've been handing out for the last couple of years uses engagement rank and Google's favorite content, which to this date in all our testing is still YouTube videos, you guys. Still YouTube videos. Can't lose with them. It allows you to silo your automated videos. So the previous versions of Video Kraken was not siloed at all. If you wanted any siloing, you had to do it on your own. Simple Silo Builder and Video Kraken were designed to work together. Okay, I can't tell you how huge this is. the effects that we're having already is, is profound. And so at the end of this webinar, I will also pass out the pricing grid that explains the difference between all these plugins so that you guys can understand what's going on with that, and it'll make it a lot more clear. Sue, do you want to grab the screen back, or how are things going?
There is an error.
Okay.
It's still working on it.
It's all right, no worries. I'm going to pass that out to you guys. The only reason I'm not giving it to you is that page is down. I'm getting hit too hard right now with traffic, because we have a campaign running, and so we've got something weird. So today seems to be Murphy's Law's day for things, but that's all right. It just means that everybody is hitting this very, very hard. So let me think about that. Is there anybody that's involved in our certification level 3 automatic video traffic training, what Jimmy is now calling the 1 billion page club, because he completely made a farce of my 1 million page club?
Only one?
All right. Every time I try to do something, I think I'm like anchoring like this high point, high anchor point, and Jimmy and Sue are like, "You idiot." I have to change all my marketing copy. It's like, it was like Dr. Evil, $1 million. And everybody's like, $1 billion. Okay. Yeah. Hi, George. It's good to see you too. 200 people. Yeah. Billions and billions of pages. Give me a second, you guys. So what we've done is, here's what was happening. And thanks to you guys from Director's Cut, a lot of OMGers. I'm sure that some of you guys heard the rumor or whatever about video cracking being a problem, and then it was narrowed down to networks with the X. Just want to put that out there now that it had nothing to do with our plugin. We tested it. It was a dubious hosting source, if anybody's having trouble with that. Just want to make sure you guys read that coverage. I think we covered it in the OMG Facebook area. So one of the things that was happening is people using video cracking were using it on shared hosting. So the videokraken.com plugin, which posts videos, is not going to let you publish unlimited videos every day anymore, because we have too many beginners, intermediate folks installing this on a hosting company and crashing the box on your shared hosting. So I really want to make sure that you guys know that we're not going to let you do that anymore. If you're a badass and you want to take our training on how to use the unlimited version, that now requires our training, because we want to make sure that you don't blow yourself up and your hosting company up. And we also provide hosting that's safe for that type of stuff. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys give that. Peter's asking, would you give us an acceptable hosting company? I only use either Kevin's hosting company in the UK, which is done for you. If you guys don't have server-side skills, I recommend using the Kevin's hosting company. That comes with our training. You get 3 months free, but I can also give you the link to that. It's on the automatic video traffic. It's in the automatic video traffic area, okay? We actually provide a safe hosting solution for those of you who are really not experienced with hosting maybe your own box, okay? We provide, Kevin, who has been with our team for many, many years, is a serious badass when it comes to hosting. Okay, so we set up a situation where you guys would be completely safe and pretty much an impenetrable black box. It's a very, very high security hosting account, and that is one option. The other option that I do recommend, if you're a little bit more advanced, would be OVH servers. And inside the advanced training course, which is our automatic video traffic training course, we actually do lay out, which is, by the way, that webinar, second webinar starts tomorrow, and we have replays and everything. We do have a step-by-step setup for OVH to build your own server that can handle that. And I hope you guys all understand that it's just not something you want to do without training. Okay, it's just not something that you want to do without training. So if you have Network Empire News, if you go to Network Empire News and scroll down to the page, you can see what is the Network Empire Pro software bundle training system. You can see that I have all of our silo plugins listed out right here, okay? At the bottom, hopefully you guys can see this, I have the silo plugin comparison grid, okay? And it rolls out. I'll just go ahead and drop the link since we're all family here. You guys can check this out, and while Sue's still getting ready for the rank is on thing, some of you are already on that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat area, and that should help clarify all of my rantings here today. Okay, these prices, by the way, are estimated prices. I believe if you're in the Deep Silo Builder beta test, if you're one of the, I think, 20 or 25 people that Sue is going to allow in there, I'm not sure if that's a paid beta or a free beta, so I'll let her answer that. I don't believe that you guys are going to be, you're going to be helping us do some pretty serious debugging. So I've lobbied to make sure that you guys get access to that. Okay, once we come out of beta, the Deep Silo Builder is no longer going to be free. Simple Silo Builder will be our free version. Let's just go through some of this a little bit while Sue's doing this. Deep Silo Builder is going to be somewhere between 37 and 47, we're not sure. Video and Deep do almost the same thing, okay? And you can scroll down and look exactly at what they do. The essential difference, like in a nutshell, is that you can put in a video, a YouTube API, and it'll pull in temporary videos and comments, as I think Don was saying, had his questions earlier today. And the reason that I do that on new sites, you guys and gals, is that I just find that I get higher rankings after I submit to Google Sitemap when I have those videos on there in general. And then what I do is I go in and put my own videos. If you guys haven't seen my course in the Network Empire members area called Video Website Silo Architecture for Conversion, we have a wonderful course in there on this topic. It's done quite well for people of understanding what you need to do on your silo landing pages if it's your money site, okay? And so that's the main difference, is the video gives you the little extra kick. Google Sitemap seems to gobble up video pages a little bit more and then give you an extra boost. Especially, again, you have to follow, the instructions on SEO that Jimmy and Sue have laid out on that. Okay, so that's the distinction here, simple, deep, and video deep. They essentially do the same thing, but there is also a monetization screen in there. Also, Video Kraken and Video Unlimited work together with simple. So simple is a hybrid combination with Video Kraken and the rest. All right, I hope that makes clear. Somebody is saying something about, let me just go ahead and scroll down a little bit. I also want to extend my appreciation to every one of you. There's well over 200 people on this call and more coming in for all of your support for the last couple of years. If I actually showed you the bill for how much money we've paid out to get these things programmed, these are not your grandmother's WordPress plugins, okay? These cost way more to develop than I hoped that they would. When you put all the work in that everybody's done and the fixes and the creation of the modifications, and when you put in everything such as getting automatic updates for you guys, it's really quite a feat to be able to do that. Plus also the integration. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but these plugins integrate with our web services and our keyword research tools. So it's very huge. Mike McAfee is asking about the Pro package. The Pro package, Mike, is probably the most powerful, is probably the sweet spot in the Network Empire suite of tools. We have a lot of products, and some of you might have had this experience. You're never exactly sure what you want to do first. The Network Empire Pro bundle gives you several of these plugins. It doesn't include the Video Kraken Unlimited version, but it includes Simple, Deep, and Video, and also it includes our DWS Silo Builder application. So I talk about this right here. I actually do a video storyline because I know you guys have time to watch a 41-minute video, but basically the Pro bundle is the most popular recommended bundle that we have. That's a monthly subscription. I want you to be aware that the Silo plugins, you don't have to be a monthly member in order to use and take advantage of the Silo plugins, because you can manually add your keywords to those plugins. However, if you're using our industrial software where you want to add, I had somebody ask me today in a Skype room, how do I build a 500-page Silo site with the upcoming Deep Silo plugin? You would really want Deep DWS Lite or DWS Pro, and that's the software that we use it's a software as a service, meaning a web-based or a browser-based software where you can build gargantuan Silo websites of any size, virtually any size. I mean, I suppose when you start getting up to 10,000 pages and the rest, if you guys are building things past 200 pages, like 1,000 pages or greater, just ping me on Skype and let me know during the import, because what happens is the DWS Pro Builder communicates directly with the plugins. So let's say I built this giant silo structure in here. I just export it and import the spreadsheet or the file that's exported in the right format from DWS Pro, and I can just slurp it up into the Deep Silo plugin. Okay, so a lot of the design or the architecture should be built. Yeah. Oh, and yeah. Somebody's saying there is an OMG price point on that. Sorry, there is. You guys don't pay 247. That is I forgot about that. Sorry. You guys have.
That offer expired, Russ.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I told you she was in the mood. Okay. George, the silo builder itself, the plugin is a one-time purchase, but our services is monthly. We have APIs, we have staff to pay, we have coders. The service, if you're interested in our service, it's our software as a service, then that is a monthly fee. Okay, that's the Pro bundle monthly fee. This is a monthly agency price. Okay, and by the way, if you guys have questions about the appropriate path that you might want to take, okay, then hit us up in the Skype room. First, join the Director's Cut Network Empire hybrid Skype room. And I have been working for several days on a wonderful system that Sue introduced me to that allows me to walk you through your personal decision tree to determine what softwares. It'll be quite nice, and it's going to be probably in the next couple of days that I get it done. And I'll be able to walk each one of you through your own decision path, which includes your business decisions, your software that you already know how to use, your level of skill, and I'll be able to help you find either the right products or the right training for your level. Okay. Yeah, Sue, I got myself into trouble with that offer. I should never have mentioned it. Okay, so now we have loss aversion. I'll have to figure out a way to deal with that. Guys, I'm sorry for mentioning that offer, and you are going to have to lobby. That's all I have to say. Okay, so I'll see if I can sweet talk her. I don't know. I'm not giving you guys any promises. Sue, are we still waiting, or should I go back to the questions? Yeah, I think we're still waiting. Okay. Peter Coyle says, buy Sue some chocolates. Sometimes that works on a case-by-case basis. Understand, Shu. Okay, give me feedback. We're human beings, so we got a lot of stuff going on, as you guys can see. Let's go back to the questions for now. Okay, you guys. Let's go back to the questions while we're just waiting. Is there any final questions on the deep silo stuff? You're going to see a huge amount of information about this. You guys know where to go for the beta test, and we'll just keep moving forward with that. Let's go ahead and look at something that Jimmy was saying here. Jimmy, they've got a question for you. James says, if you're here, James, can you speak up?
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yes. I was listening to a webinar Jimmy was on with Cotton, and he made a statement along the lines that he was not using a PBN. He hasn't used PBNs in a while. If one also wanted to go this route and not use PBNs to rank a website, what are his recommendations to focus on? My assumption is that DOS is 100%, but I just wanted to verify my assumptions.
I do other things other than DAS.
Oh my God, here we go. What do they call that?
DAS certainly works. I mean, one thing I think a lot of people view DAS as like the diagrams that they see in the videos and stuff. Like DAS is a concept, right? It's a matter of understanding how your trust flow is getting pushed through all the different tiers and things like that. So that's what what people need to realize is if they get that concept down, like you're not limited to just DAS or just PBNs, like it opens up a lot of doors. So that way, no matter your link situation, you understand how to work with it or how to manipulate it to get it to do what you want it to do.
I'm going to tell you guys a story since there's 200 people on here about Jimmy and about SEO. I'm just trying to think about how I want to talk about this. There are layers of the onion when it comes to SEO. And I know that there are so many different levels of business entrepreneurs in here and entrepreneurs. If you guys have been, did you guys lose audio? You can still hear me? Give me a 1. Have people complaining?
I can hear you okay.
Okay, it's Mike. That's got to be you, buddy. I'm not sure where you're calling from. I've been in this business for actually over a decade now, and that's a long time. I was back when, Bruce Clay had only talked about website site architecture for less than a few months, and I've seen a lot of things come and go. I've been mentored, by Sue for a decade now, and I want you guys to consider something as entrepreneurs. And many of you know this about internet marketing as well. Whatever is being sold right now is not necessarily what the best of the best of the best use, okay? What I love about our team is we give you the up-to-date, blow-by-blow, current as we can be while maintaining your safety, okay? While maintaining your safety. Generally speaking, for everything that Jimmy or Sue says, I've tried to write this down on my whiteboard. Behind me in my room is a gigantic whiteboard of all the businesses that I own and that Jimmy and Sue and I own and that we work with. It's about an average of 3 or 4 other layers deeper that there's no possibility of talking about in a digital environment. Why do you guys think that is? Why are methods that are like at the heart of like turn over anything that you ever thought you knew? Why can you not publish that in a digital environment, like on a webinar or you guys just throw some stuff out there? I want to see where you guys are at. Just put some ideas. Somebody's saying theft, black hat form disclosure, abused by the wrong people, unwanted propagation, no code of silence. Exactly, Peter. This is called saturation. There are methods that are highly protected, and there is a skull and bones, of this world, because I have seen so many things in the last 10 years. I have seen methods that I know Jimmy knows that he's taught me, and that there's things that I could never emulate and Sue has shown me a huge amount of things that there's no possibility. First of all, most people just simply wouldn't understand them or be able to execute them. Second of all, there is this saturation mechanism of theft and this kind of addiction to cracking the internet or cracking Google and having a shortcut to rankings. Now, that's completely fine, but I also know a lot of black hats who are addicts and seeking shortcuts who are not really making that much money because they don't know how to apply it to business, right? So you have all these variables. And I guess what I'm trying to share with you guys is that, if you want to learn the real stuff, you got to actually spend time. Like we've known some of the people, right? Jimmy's like some of your friends in this business you've known for like 10 years. Like I've known Sue for over 10 years. Like there's only like 3 or 4 people that I really trust. And that's taken a long time for me to get that trust. And, so that's why the Network Empire community, when we started it, when Sue and I first started a company, one of our, I suppose I could be more ambitious now, we wanted to create 100 millionaires. And as we've actually, since, in 2005 when we started, one of the things that we now know is that it takes time to get to know people and, who we trust. Like we know a lot of you by name, and some people come and go. But a lot of the really intense stuff, like, is privileged information. And that's stuff that I know personally. For example, Jimmy, only teaches, when he trusts you, and you got to know him. And Sue's the same way. You got to personally show up at an event. Okay, so that's really, and specifically a private event. And I wanted to let you guys know that that's some of the things that I've seen in the last 9 months. And I've been in the business for well over 10 years. it's changed. You know, I understand artificial intelligence. I understand how Google works. I've even read a ton of the patents. Probably I read patents a lot more than you guys do. But some of the things that we're dealing with right now, we just have to have a private inner group, and Jimmy doesn't share those kinds of things. So, you know, he is having an upcoming event in October and September, and you know, you should be aware of that. And really, when he talks to people, he talks about, he only talks like 15. Like, what was it, Jimmy? We thought we could manage like 15 or 20 people at a time or something like that.
Yeah. Because I really want them to understand and learn and implement.
Yeah, and one of the things I want you guys to understand is we're going to give you everything that we possibly can, okay, here. But I just need to be honest with you guys. This is not even an upsell, you know, the platform pitch and the business hype and this kind of stuff. That it's just not.
No.
What's that?
I was gonna say, even in fact, most people didn't even know.
Yeah.
Was
and I'm probably not supposed to be doing this, but I get tired of the expectations that our community, like we've been in business building and archiving and working on this type of stuff for 10 years, of you guys thinking that it's going to happen on a webinar. Now, we will give you everything that we can. Domain authority stacking, we want to make absolutely sure these are methods. And there are levels, there are layers to this. I just wanted you guys to be aware that, you know, Jimmy is going to be talking live at this. Sue will also be there. And it's an option for you. Okay, it's an option for you. And of course, we have our live Network Empire events as well. People are wanting, okay, I'm going to go ahead and drop that link for those of you guys who are interested. I believe that, keep in mind, this is only 10 or 15 people. So
yeah, the seats are, we don't have too many left, really.
Yeah.
But if you are thinking about it or whatever, I would do it, because
yeah. And the thing that I really want to tell you guys, I recommend that if you are not an advanced student, meaning you're not doing crazy stuff or even intermediate, that I really don't think that event is appropriate for you.
No, and in fact, in the video, if they go and watch the video, I tell, you know, if you're just learning SEO, that this event would not be for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if they're just starting out, like they need to, because otherwise the material they're going to get lost in.
Yeah,
so, and I don't want somebody to walk away confused.
Yeah, and the story that I have, you guys, is at OMG in 2013 when I met Jimmy for the first time, and we talked on the phone. I'm used to talking and, you know, sounding complicated and all this stuff. And as we built the One Web Ring, perpetual downstream traffic system, and, you know, we've been in natural language processing, all these fancy schmancy geeky things. And when I met Jimmy, and when Sue and I met Jimmy there, we had this experience of, like, he actually knew what we were talking about, and that we had to be really careful what we said because he actually understood it and could make corrections, enhancements, and we just started sparking off each other at this event in OMG 2013. So I'm really grateful. The OMG community, so many amazing things happen, and the huge advantage of being an OMG, the huge advantage of being in Project Breakthrough and Network Empire, a lot of what's happening, you'll see more and more, is this sparking. It's called rainmaking opportunities. It's not just like an opportunity for networking. There's something actually much greater. There's an opportunity for trust building. There's so much that if you guys hang in there over the next few months and years, whatever level you're at, I don't even care if you're a brand newbie right now. You can start, if you have this sneaking suspicion that something ridiculous, like a hack that's ridiculously powerful, that's nobody on earth should know about. If you have the sneaking suspicion that there is always an easier solution for whatever it is you're learning, you are right. You are right. And that's the only way you're going to ever get to that level is through trust circles, or what we call rainmaking opportunities, mentoring, earning trust. I mean, it takes a lot of time for Sue and I to, you know, trust somebody. On average, I look back at some of the closer in circle certified advisors we have, it's between 3 and 5 years. But there's a rapid track that you guys can be on over the next couple of years. I just wanted you guys to know how it works. Sherilyn's asking, what events will you have next year? We're going to have the Network Empire Live certification event, Cheryl, and we talk about that in several locations. I'm still waiting for Sue to come back, guys. I'm kind of stalling a little bit here. That's what I'm waiting for, for the rank design. We have the Theme Zoom certification event. Oh, by the way, just back to Jimmy's thing coming up. I am just as excited about going to Jimmy's event as a partner and friend and student of Jimmy's. And that's not easy for me to say, but I am most definitely a student when it comes to the technical SEO. I'm just as excited about going to that as I am of our live Network Empire event next year and speaking at it. So that should give you guys a little bit of insight. And Sherilyn, the event next year is Theme Zoom certification. We're still cleaning up that page. It's 266 days away. There has been a discussion about having another event 3 or 4 months after Jimmy's event, but we will keep you guys informed, okay? We'll keep you informed. So we have one every year in the first quarter of every year, and it's a 6-day event. I believe Jimmy's is a 2-day event. Thank goodness, because your brain is going to be.
Plus, it's just me.
Well, yeah, it's just you.
Speaking for that many days
it's intense. It's intense, yeah. And we've got to get you covered for fluids and make sure that you're taken care of. We've got to have a masseuse on the other side of the hotel ready to take care of you. But yeah, and also there's a lot, the kind of stuff that Jimmy's into, like SEO is really hardcore. It's mental. There's a lot of mental effort in there. And another thing I'd say, Jimmy, is that you've gotten really, really good at explaining and showing and demonstrating really, really advanced things since when I first knew you.
Oh yeah, I was horrible at those webinars when I first got on.
That first,
I didn't really know how to explain to people. I just thought, one of them is my communication, my weakness in that. But the other thing is just like trying to explain like what I see in my head and actually put it down so somebody can follow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing.
I was telling Sue the other day that Jimmy reminds me, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Daniel Tammet. He's the prodigy who can memorize prime numbers out to 20,000 locations, or he doesn't even memorize them. He calculates them in his head with zero energy. Jimmy's kind of like that for SEO. Like there's stuff going on in his head, that code cracking stuff, like John Nash kind of stuff, that's, it's going on in there. Getting it out of his head and into all of our heads, it takes a minute. How you doing, Sue?
Good.
Are we going to proceed, or should I keep?
Yeah. No, we got it.
Okay, I'll pass back the control to you when you're ready.
I hope you whipped Kelly.
He has been properly abused.
Okay, good.
Uh-oh.
All right.
I'll go ahead and change you back then.
Yeah, I'm headed there, thanks. Screen number, hopefully that's the right screen.
Yeah, we got you.
No. All right.
Uh-oh, there you are.
All right, so back at the staging area. Back to our Amazon URL. Let me just cancel out of this for a second. I'm going to drop my infamous link in here. And it's going to come back and tell me the seller ID and your name, just to make sure you got the right one. There wasn't a typo or something like that. If it doesn't recognize the seller ID, it'll come up and tell you, try another link or something like that. So if a product is sold by Amazon, again, if we have authors, that kind of thing, those won't work. So that's a quick and easy way to get your store info. And then your login info. Since I'm doing this for Russell, we'll make it his login info.
I'm selling adult male enhancement products.
Password field? Oh.
Actually, you're selling turmeric. I don't know what you think you're selling, but right now you're selling turmeric.
Turmeric is a common ingredient in male enhancement products.
Well, there you go. That's
no, I'm just
really
kidding.
Unusual, but okay.
I just made that up. I don't really know that.
I think about that, and I'm like, wait a minute. All right, fine.
It's good for the immune system, though. It's a good immune booster. How many of you guys are in herbs and herbology, and how many of you guys sell supplements online? Give me a 1 if you sell supplement, 2 if you don't.
Herb.
Not herb, not like Colorado herb. Like
Herb.
herb. How many of you sell herbs? Oh, you get several of you guys a lot of you gals are selling herbal products. Okay. Just call me Mahatma. Donald Parker says, just call me Mahatma. Okay. Donald I.W. Mahatma.
Oh my goodness gracious. Russell, have you signed up already using all of your email accounts?
I never signed up. I don't know why you're using my name.
That's funny.
I just never had the opportunity. She's cracking the whip on all these other launches, and I have like 5 simultaneous launches right now. Like, really? Yeah, really.
I just kick back and play solitaire.
Jimmy, what is the nature of reality? Let me see if I can find.
Reality is what you perceive it as.
Sue, I'm pretty sure that I did have an entrance. Let me just find the link. I'm sorry. I thought we were all.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I think I know what I did wrong.
I thought we were all prepared.
In doing this, I think I didn't copy a thingy down to the other thingy. Use the store ID.
You didn't connect the doohickey to the thingy.
Exactly.
The thingy to the thingy?
And the whatchamabobbit.
What thingy are we talking about?
I think I hit the wrong button in the fluster of this.
Gotcha. I haven't even put my Amazon product page in this thing
There
yet.
we go.
That's how busy
All
I am. Ooh, yeah, give me the extra large one. Yeah.
Extra large?
You should make it say like super size me.
Super size me to 256 product.
Over here, let me just show you what the packages are. So extra large is going to be $497 a month. You sure you feel that rich, Russ?
Well, if I can take it out of our account, our company account, that's cool.
We'll take it out of Jimmy's account.
Yeah, it's probably a lot more flush.
It's going to give you 20,000 credits.
Okay,
and so
cool.
then it's going to break up those 20,000 credits across all your products.
All right.
So if you've just got a few products, then probably the small package will be fine.
Can we be more specific than a few? Like, let's say I actually only have like 5 products. Which one would I want?
Well, Jimmy, if you had a product on Amazon, how many social signals would you want on a monthly basis?
As many as I can get.
All right, so super size.
You asked the wrong guy. I mean, he's worse than you.
Well, I just think there's more targets. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to get, if you're going to apply other links to other links, like the more the merrier.
Okay.
And for me, like that's what I would do. But really, I mean, because the DA is so high on that, it'll just push it up anyway.
Yeah.
So
We're finding.
You don't need a ton. I just do things a little excessively sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Once in a while, I'm a little excessive.
Sometimes I'm not excessive.
When? Name me one time you've not been excessive.
Like the link you sent me for 1 billion pages indexed in 62 hours. By the way, you guys, that was for real. I'm not exaggerating at all. It literally is. Okay, so
okay, I haven't ever done anything not to excess, so
yeah.
I'm a bad example for that.
That's why you and Sue get along so well.
It is exactly why we get along so well. So, I mean, you can't actually hurt anything with these inbound links because they're all no follows, right? So all it's going to do is be moreish. But you can be conservative or you can be excessive depending on what you prefer.
Well, we have some great questions here, Sue, kind of related to what we just said. Christina is asking, what about a really hard niche? And we already know that a really difficult niche, Jimmy and Sue, we already talked about this, something super competitive. You're going to want to do other things besides just rank is on. But rank is on will really get you way ahead of the competition. And so I think what we really need is to know what you mean by really hard niche, because you probably mean like a vertical keyword or something really competitive. So
yeah, if you're doing something competitive, you're going to have to do a double play. You're going to have to get that thing ranked in Amazon, and then you're going to have to go do some more potent stuff on your backlinks to get after that really competitive stuff.
Exactly.
So,
And there will be there is a Rankazon chat room, you guys. I'm going to take the beta off of it. So those of you who get involved, just ping me in the Director's Cut Project Breakthrough Network Empire chat room, and I'll move you over to Rankazon if you're playing around with this, okay?
okay, so I see people are, this is too funny. All right, so,
oh, sorry guys. Yeah, this tool is not for ranking inside of Amazon. That's another function. This tool is for ranking on Google. This is a Google ranking for your sales, for your Amazon page. Okay, just to be clear, that is a common confusion.
all right, so Tim asked if we can go over products per level. So the product is the same no matter what the level, right? The only difference between the levels is the number of credits. So at this point in time, every platform, one signal, one inbound link from one platform costs 1 credit. So if you get the small package, you're going to get 500 inbound links from Delicious, Digo, and Twitter. Right this second, Pinterest isn't working, but it'll come back online shortly. So whatever is available at the time when you're subscribing, that's what will get promoted. And then when it comes around, when you resubscribe the next month, when your subscription renews, then you'll get another 500 credits. And so what it does, let's say that you subscribed right now. It's going to take your 500 credits. It's going to find your products. Let's say that you've got 10 products. So each of your 10 products are going to get 50 social signals for the next 30 days. And it's going to calculate that as evenly as possible across all the platforms. So each one of your products getting 50, it's going to get roughly 15, 16, 17 links out of each one of the 3 platforms that are working right this second. Next month when it comes around again, Pinterest should probably be working, and so then, it's going to divide it by 4. So each platform you're going to get an equal amount for each product. So that's the only difference between the price points. You get 500 credits for this. Let me just blow my screen up a little bit more so you can see this better. You get 500 credits for $50. You get 2,000 credits for $100. You get 5,000 credits for $200, and you get 20,000 credits for $500. Does that make sense? Russ, I trust you're reading the questions. Is there a question that I should answer?
I think what's happening is there are several confused people. I believe what we need to do is probably get our heads together and talk a little bit more on the sales page about how many products they have and what package they should buy. And if we don't know, we need to come up with a way to help them determine, because it is kind of ambiguous. And that's really what they care about. It's like, if I have one product, which package do I need? So that's really the only question coming up. And then another person asked, are we going to have another webinar on this, because they're having a hard time following what Rankazon is. So that's really what I'm getting, is like, most people get it, but I think they want some clarifications on what package they would need. And I think that's good. That's why we do these webinars, you guys. We know what you need to know and how specifically you need to know it. And we're also going to have a step-by-step tutorial on this when it goes public. Remember, you guys are the first inner circle that's even hearing about this. So we'll make sure that you know. Another person asked, Sue, I'm in the UK and I went ahead and just purchased. I told you guys not to purchase until we finish the demo. And then he realized that it doesn't do it in the UK. Is that true?
Oh, that is correct. It's for US only right at the moment. Yes.
Okay. So the person in the UK who just purchased, just ping me on Skype. Okay, we'll get you sorted out.
He's already put in a help desk request. We'll get him refunded.
Okay.
No worries.
That's why we had you guys wait for a second. That's okay. I didn't expect you to. Everybody's excited. So we'll actually be providing you guys with a step-by-step video, and based on this webinar, I will get you some way to think about, in your particular instance, what package you need. Now, the reason that's a little challenging is you might be targeting something, you might only have one product, but you're targeting something that is pretty competitive. And so in that, you're going to have to at least have a basic understanding of what the domain authority and page authority is in that first search engine result page. And there's a few different things. I think we can offer you, I'll get with Sue and Jimmy, we can offer you a way to determine that package based on, you know, that information that you can find out, okay? Good, that seemed to solve that one, Sue.
Okay, so we're going to pick a package, any package. Since Jimmy wants to go with the extra large, we'll do that.
Okay.
And then you can put in your billing information, right? So one of the reasons I wanted to use this is so that I don't have to put in my credit card information in front of everybody. And I think I can just hit the submit and it should be okay. Maybe not.
A couple of people asking for the UK version. Looks like we have guys across the pond who are wanting that too. I can't make you a promise on that, David, but I can definitely talk to the team after. Let's see what other questions we have coming up. Yeah, I know, Bruce. Bruce is asking, simple way to understand how many credits would I need to get 50 social signals to 3 Amazon products, for example. Yeah, and so what I'm going to have to do is get with the team, Bruce, and figure out, it's not that simple. For instance, I don't know what your Amazon product keywords are. So I'll find a way to, that will matter. I'm going to see if I can put together a way for you guys to easily, step-by-step, determine how many signals you would need based on what that product keyword is that you're targeting. That might not be possible, but I think it is, because I know what I have to do if I'm targeting something. Yeah, David. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy just he just carpet bombs the universe for anything, so he doesn't really discern. But for you guys as customers, I want to make sure that you have a generalized way to be able to manage your expenses. So we'll figure that out for you. Probably by today. I'll figure out something. George, you're interested in purchasing, it's US, right? I'm just learning right now that it's not in the UK, so that's US, right? George? Just come into this, join the Director's Cut Project Breakthrough Skype room, George, and I'm gonna move you into Rankazon. Anybody who has any questions on this, since we are in post-beta, okay, we'll be able to have conversations with you and clarify these types of things. So if something weird happens, you just don't know what's going on, you can look at some of the chat in the chat room until we get the help desk, the help file completely flushed out. And I will be there to answer anybody's questions.
The help file should be completely flushed out.
Well, it's not effectively teaching people which products to purchase to. So it's, I'm giving us live feedback.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we will figure out what how to help you find the right packet. We literally have people right now trying to ask us what to buy. That's all that I'm saying, Sue.
Yeah.
So we'll get you in the Skype room, George, and I want to walk through personally with you and hold your hand through the process so that we can make this super easy for everybody else.
All right, so I finally got the right fake credit card number in there, and it brings me up to this screen. And as you can see, like, this is basically it. It gives you a sample of what your promotions are going to look like for the month, and then you've got some other screens up here. You can see what your product is. You can see what your products are that are being promoted at the moment. Make sure that you've got everything and that everything looks good. You can see your subscription here. You can change it. You can go up or down. Now, if you increase, it'll give you, it'll figure out how many credits it should increase for the remaining days in your subscription, and it'll charge you appropriately and give you those credits and spread it out over the month. If you downgrade, then it'll leave everything the way it is, and then when your subscription renews, it'll downgrade. You can change your settings, like you can change your password. You can change your seller ID. If you entered an invalid seller ID in the beginning, which I think now it doesn't let you, it kind of tells you that it's invalid. So if you come in here and you decide to enter a different seller ID, obviously, like at the beginning, it calculates this whole thing, and it's already got figured out what your promotions are going to be for this month, right? So what's going to happen when you change your seller ID is when your subscription renews, it'll go find all of your new products, and it will change your seller ID over at that point. Need a way to limit which products are being promoted. Yeah, that'll happen with version 2. It's probably about 90 days away, be my guess. All right, so to get a backlink report. So you're going to know, let me just log out and I'll log into my account. Hang on a second. And this will show you, you'll be able to see what's going on here. So this is what it looks like when your report's been, when your account's been running for a while. And so this is how you can see what's going on. So you've got the dark blue is Delicious, the lighter blue is Diggo, Pinterest is up here, and then Twitter is up here. You can see that there's not much going on with Pinterest because we're having issues with it at the moment. So, and it'll recalculate if for some reason it can't, if you had it already and it was going to publish Pinterest and it can't publish Pinterest on a day, it'll switch it over to something else and publish. You'll make sure that all your credits will get used. So, so you can follow along here. You can see that it varies every day, the number of signals on each platform, and that is the extent of the report. So for those of you that have Social Explosion, and you know that you can see like which things are getting posted which a day in Social Explosion, you don't have quite that same level of reporting here. But if I come over here to products, like you can just know that all of these products on this list, whatever that list is, those are the products that are going to get reported each month. And we had played around with different aspects of this report to put more data on it, but it just became confusing. So you just know that that if you have 100 and you got a package for 2,000, that each one of these products would get 20 credits every month. All right, so let me just look through here and see what and aside from this is hands-free. Like at this point, it's a set and forget. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to do anything else. It's just that easy. So
There's not really any other questions. George is asking, is this something we might do for a client who has products? Yeah, if they have Amazon products, you can definitely offer to promote them.
Absolutely.
And so my main thing as a takeaway, a couple of you have given feedback that jumping from the silo plugins, yeah, we have dumped a lot of stuff on you guys today. One of the main reasons is that we really didn't know we were going to be presenting Rankazon today until an hour ago. So, and I'm really glad that we have. But we will be doing a lot more on this. So the next step for you guys is to get into, if you're not already in the Director's Cut Project Breakthrough, a couple of you who asked, well, what if I'm Project J? If you're Project J, you're not supposed to be in here, so I don't know how you got in here. That's all right. If you're Project J, can you please just ask to join the Skype room, the Director's Cut Skype room, and I will get you in the Rankazon. I'll get you in the Rankazon area. And another great thing about the Rankazon post-beta room is that we get all kinds of cool feedback, and if you have pricing questions, we can tailor the product packages a little bit better. It really does help the quality control as we begin to roll this out. This is not available to the general public at this time. Okay. Okay, Andrew, you're J and Director's Cut. Gotcha. Okay. So that's really what we're looking at. Michael is saying my account, oh, you don't want to read that out loud, Sue? My account is scheduled. Okay. Some of you are already hammering on this thing, which is great. Okay, so this is part of what you get when you're in the inner circle. And I hope you are okay with the fact this is not a traditional product launch. This is us letting you guys in the door first, and you will hear a ton more about this. Brian is asking for a case study. I have 3. and they're not published. I have the testimonial on rankazon.net, which has no buy button on it and probably won't. And that was a middle level. We will provide you with more case studies as we get them on our own side of the Amazon thing. We'll provide you with more written white paper case studies.
So Fran asked a great question.
Sure.
Do you have to have a store, or can you be an associate? And you do have to have, like, you don't have to have a store, but just know if you put in your, like if you, as an associate, if you're selling a product, then if you put that product in, it's going to pick up all of that seller's products and promote them all. So probably what you're wanting is version 2, where you can put in just the product that you want.
Okay. Gotcha. Another question that came up that scrolled by is, when is Jimmy and Sue going to have a course on general Amazon ranking? You guys have any ideas on that? We've talked about that a couple times, but
we've talked about it, but there's no plans for one.
I don't have.
Okay.
No.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's that. Cool. I think that's probably enough on the Rankazon. I'm starting to get people asking me, and I'll just keep dealing with all that. That is the fastest way for you guys to get involved with this. And if you're having the slightest doubt of what package to purchase and these things, just hit me on the Skype room. I'm adding everybody right now. And really, really appreciate you guys letting us go over this with you. And I'm really, really excited about this product because I know a lot of, let me ask you guys a question. Can you give me a 1 if you have an Amazon product for sale, and a 2 if you have nothing on Amazon at all, and this is really not a tool for you? I was going to prepare a questionnaire for that. We'll do that later. Just give me a 1 if you have an Amazon product and this is useful, and a 2 if you do not. Okay. So most of you really do. I would say, what do you, Sue, when you eyeball that, what percentage of that would you say people have Amazon?
I'm actually answering questions. I wasn't watching, sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I'm trying to get a sense of, I'd say the majority, I'd say that probably about 50% of you or more have an Amazon product. Okay, Chu, I know you're in the UK. Okay, so we've got some UK, and that'll help us drive development. We'll look at the UK type of things. Jim, you're wanting Kindle book stuff? Gotcha. Yeah, that's a feature that I've requested as well, and we'll move into that. Someone's asked, how can I join the Skype group? The Skype handle is ThemeZoom. So you would go to Skype and you would search me on ThemeZoom, and the word is THEM, as in Michael, EZOOM, ThemeZoom. And I will drag you into that room, and I will also put you in the Director's Cut Project B room, okay? And then we can all start chatting about this before we go public, get everything all ready for you, okay? Good, good. So let's see, how long have we been rolling? We've been rolling 1 hour and
coming up on 2 hours.
Hour and 45 minutes. Do you want to close this now, Sue?
Well, I think we should answer some more people's questions, right? We should.
Just checking in with you.
Questions?
Yeah. Oh. I mean, this is not just a platform pitch. This is not just a platform pitch for Rankazon. Somebody asked Jimmy, while I'm getting the thing back out, somebody asked, Jimmy, is Fiverr still a reasonable ranking option for Amazon? Quick overview.
Yeah, I mean, I still use some Fiverr gigs just to rank like regular money sites sometimes, depending on the keyword term. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I use them. I mean, it really depends. I guess I shouldn't just.
Yeah, I kind of have a problem with that answer for a bunch of reasons.
On how much you care about, where you're sending those kinds of links, because you're losing, you don't have control necessarily over those. Especially like if you're using it for Amazon, it's not like we're registering Amazon in Google Webmaster Tools, so there's no ability to disavow. So, I mean, I guess doesn't mean you can't just go create a new account or, move your product under something else, but, just try to keep as much control as you can of your links. I mean, well, yes, it does work. I mean, this is what I would do. I mean, if you do some testing and stuff and you don't feel like building out your links, like go do some testing with a high DA property on your keyword using some Fiverr gigs, and then you can always replicate what's being done with those gigs, only in a more controlled manner.
Yeah, and another thing, and we've talked about this a lot, Jimmy, is that it's important to recognize if you don't understand the principles that you're executing. For example, you might ask, okay, is this particular fiber gig useful? And Jimmy might use it in one particular way because he knows the effects it's going to have or where it fits in the total system, whereas another person is just spraying and praying. So my suggestion would be that when you take a fiber gig, that you really understand where it fits in the concept map for domain authority stacking or where it fits in the concept map for Amazon, right? And all those can be slightly different. So just, go into one of the Skype groups, go into one of the forum areas and ask, and maybe you'll get some insight on that. Okay, just make sure that you just don't, try to live on fiber gigs alone. Man cannot live on fiber gigs alone, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, and the other thing is, I know we put something, I think Mike took one of those and put them into a spreadsheet at some point. So, like, just always be cautious anytime you try to follow material that's more than like 3 to 6 months old.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I get questions like, you still do this? And it would be, from a course that I did a year and a half ago or something. I'm like, I do, but not exactly how I taught in that.
Exactly.
So, just be cautious if you're reading something and you see the date of something is pretty old, I would definitely go test it first or simply just ask, say, hey, is this still safe to use? Or, do you recommend this still? So,
okay, that sounds good.
If they have questions on it, so.
Gotcha. Thank you. Good night.
No other questions?
See what else you got there.
Nobody has a dying question.
I'm trying to add you guys.
In their SEO dungeons.
SEO dungeons. Okay, Ed, I'm adding you.
Did you say dungeon?
Yeah, he said dungeon. I've got literally dozens upon dozens of requests. So those of you who just hit me up on Skype, I'm adding you. It might take upwards of the next hour to get you in the right place because there's literally 100 of you requesting ads. So just be patient with me while Sue is going through these other things.
I'll whip Russell for you guys. Don't worry.
Can I watch?
You guys see what I have to put up with? Like, seriously. Okay, here's this. Okay, and we've got...
I was just looking at something that claimed, some third-party platform that claimed that you could see retweets of a Twitter post. But I don't know whether it just gives you a count or if it actually gives you the URLs of the retweets. So I'll say maybe here. I don't know. I know you asked Jimmy, but I answered anyway. I've discovered that my main money site that has vSilo set up on it has not got the permalinks set. Ooh. The site has 16 odd pages and intended to build out with more silos. What do you recommend? Okay, so Adrian, I would say it depends on where you're at with the rankings with that site. If you don't have anything ranked yet, if you're still getting going, then by all means I would change it. It's going to rank so much better if you've got this URL string, this permalink setting, because that's going to make sure that your keywords actually get in the URL string, and it also strengthens the whole silo concept. If you've already got rankings, you can 301, like 16 pages isn't a horrible number of pages to 301 over to the new URL string, so that would be my next suggestion. I would go ahead and do it, and I would 301 it. If, for those of you who are trying to do this, it's somebody I was chatting with earlier in the text box has got hundreds of posts, I wouldn't do that because, like, I can't be bothered to go and 301 hundreds of pages. Plus, past a point, it does start to slow your site down. So those are my suggestions.
Just wild-card it.
You can't just wild-card it to
Why?
different silos.
Never
Holy
let this have any fun. We can't
Give me
do
that
anything.
whip.
Can't do anything. Can't do anything fun.
No.
All right. Geez, you guys all hitting me at once. This is crazy. Okay.
Stop complaining.
I'm not.
All right. When building out a DAS stack, should you sign up for different 2.0 properties with a different email or persona? In other words, should each property in the DAS stack be treated like a PBN? Mr. Kelley?
Negative. So I'll create a fake person, and I will build him out over all the different 2.0s. So you could kind of simulate like authorship and some things like that along the way from this one person. But if I'm going to go in, there's times that even on one property I'll use like the same account, but it really just depends on how, if you have a lot of competition in a certain niche, like other SEOs that are a little more aggressive with stuff, like reporting or negative SEOing you or whatever, I try to mitigate that by just creating different user accounts, because that way if one goes down you didn't lose like one of your DAS properties for 12 clients or something like that. So it just kind of depends on the niche is usually how I determine that. But I'm not too worried, as just using it for several different 2.0s.
All right. For DAS, how do you determine one cluster? How many properties is grouped in a single cluster?
I usually do like 8 to 12 typically is like one of my clusters normally. So, and you can go less than that if you want, but just kind of depends on how many you want to build. Remember, DAS is like, it's the concept that you really want to get down, like understanding how the trust flow goes through to the other properties and why you place some of them closer to the money site. And when you have the trust flow down, then you're applying power at that point. So by understanding how that works, it really eliminates some costs that you may be using for, it's essentially a way to create your own PBN because it has all the elements that you need in the first place.
Nice.
So that's the more important question is, do I understand the concepts, not how many do you have to build? Because when you have the concepts down, you'll find that you don't necessarily need to build. Russ can attest to this on the call yesterday. You don't really need to build that many properties.
No.
Like the one I showed him yesterday had 4 of them, and it moved him up for 754 keywords.
Yep.
So it's the concept you have to get down. Don't necessarily think of the quantity.
Sweet.
That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you. Good night. What else we got? I'm distracted because everybody's like hitting me all at once here.
Yeah, I know, and I'm answering questions.
Let me ping you a few times on Skype.
Stop sending me that adult material, Jimmy. I don't have time for that.
All right, so.
Might use the art.
Does boosting the page authority of feed burner URL actually have any SEO benefit in terms of PA and trust flow?
Where are you reading that?
Right here, on the screen. Try to keep up.
Ooh.
PA or feed burner URL
See, I told you guys.
actually have any SEO.
Norman, I just added you to the deep silo beta test.
Sorry.
You guys make sure that you're clear about what group and community you want to be a part of.
Yes.
Otherwise, I end up adding you to all of them.
So if you go, it doesn't necessarily matter if it's indexed or not indexed. I should put it that way for link juice. A lot of the old PBN networks that you guys may have paid attention to or may not have, you'll realize that a big portion of their PBN network is actually not indexed. They set it to no index. I wonder what the reason for that would be. So link juice is still passed if it's set to no index follow, so you just have to make sure that it's going to follow the link juice to the destination of where it needs to go. Now, on the flip side of that, you just want to make sure that all your links are not no index, because that's no bueno. You just want about 30% of your links to be, coming from pages that aren't indexed. Does that make sense?
You answered the question behind the question, but you didn't actually answer the question. Should he boost the page authority of the feed burner URL?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how the juice will flow down through the other URLs.
Okay, good.
That's an affirmative.
So Kathleen is having her VA set Hootsuite up on some of her WordPress sites.
Okay.
All built on Genesis with dynamic, usually director's cut. She sent me this message. I checked our websites. If the RSS feed page is working, I found out websites that have V-silo structure have blank RSS feed page. Oh, probably because you've only got pages and not posts. V-silo, let me pull up my trusty dusty little image here. Hang on. Neuro.
Yeah, most blog feeds are done through posts.
Um,
People were not aware of that.
yeah, so blog feeds are only for posts by default, not for pages. So in our silo, in both deep and video silo, this level is pages and this level is pages, and then you only get to posts down here. So if you're only putting in these two levels in your silo, you're not going to have any posts, and therefore you won't have anything in your feed. Does that make sense, Kathleen, here? Let me try to find myself, which is difficult after such a long stretch of talking to programmers. I have no idea where my attendee list went to.
Isn't that awesome when that happens?
Dun, dun, dun.
Jeez Louise. I need another monitor. Like, that's just all there is to this.
I don't know why you don't have 7, but
I don't either. 7 sounds like such a good number.
it is.
It's probably because I'm not completely unpacked yet.
How many monitors do you have?
I've just got my laptop and one external.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I'm still running handicapped.
Yeah, that's problematic.
So she hasn't pinged, so I'm guessing she's not on the call. The last level on the graphics, so is it left? Yeah, so it's labeled supporting pages, right? And yes, the supporting pages are actually posts. So when you're in DWS, or Network Empire Builder, and you're creating your site, these are the labels that we give stuff: silo pages, category pages, and supporting pages. And so when it translates over to a blog, these are static pages, these are static pages, and these are posts. All right,
If you
good.
only do static pages, then there are no feeds. There's nothing in your feed. So.
Exactly. So that's why with the Simple Silo Builder, we changed all that. And let me just see if I can find the Simple Silo Builder graphic for a second. So Simple Silo Builder has just got 2 levels, and these pages are pages, and everything else is posts. So you can see there is only 2 levels, and so this creates a feed much quicker. So my thinking with that, the reason why we did that, is because Simple Silo Builder was intended to be used more for news sites where you've got a lot of posts and you want that feed, and Deep Silo and Video Silo were intended more for your money site or for, a website. So websites have pages. They're more of a static thing, and pages rank a whole lot easier, and they stay ranked easier than posts do. So we put in those 2 levels of pages to make sure that you could get all of your keywords and that they would stick, right? And the way that we have that... The reason that this works with posts on this level is because they're actually contained on the sidebar with the widget. So this works great, but if you're going to have a news blog, then you want to use the Simple Silo Builder, and that will get you your RSS feed. What did you say? Reason for that being what?
I thought you were going to go into why you do like a sticky post kind of thing.
No.
But you didn't go down that path. So.
No.
Aw. We never get to do anything fun.
Not today, no.
Not our fault you don't have extra monitors.
Next question.
Sleep.
So let me just see if there was any other question here. Post pages, you want silo, no RSS, not XML file, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Mike, building out a new lead gen site. What's the first thing I should do to set up the site's SEO foundation and link profile? If you're building a lead gen site, the first thing you should do is the opt-in form. Oh, sorry.
Yes. Get your opt-in down, get the site structure set up, then get your main social properties set up. Don't even worry about links until all of that is done.
All right. So on-page factors, basically.
Yep.
Can a silo trigger over-optimization? Oh, heavens, yes. If my silo is supplements and I have 20 pages, each with one product name, this way the website could start with 20 backlinks and the exact anchor text. How do you plan the anchor text of the off-site backlinks in this case? You should come to Jimmy's thingy. He will explain all of that there. I have to say, like, he explained that at live certification, and it was probably a 4-hour discussion.
More than that.
Okay, it was the better part of an entire day.
There you go.
That's just, like, that is the key. Knowing what your keywords are, knowing what they are on page, knowing what they're going to be off page, setting all that up appropriately, along with the domain name, like, that is the key to SEO.
That is the skeleton key, in fact.
In fact.
And if you are wanting to utilize resources that you already have, go back to the Director's Cut project. Go back to the webinar, this webinar, 3 webinars ago. It's not quite the same as getting into that 4 or 5 hour long discussion, but there's some good stuff in there where Jimmy and Sue talk about over-optimization on just the general URL structure. And we talked to David Keys about some things. There's some really good stuff. I actually rewatched some of that section. There's some really good stuff in there on that, and I will get you the date of that precise discussion. I want everybody to, if you can't, I want to make sure you use the resource that's already available for you that you've already paid for. And once you get that, then you'd definitely be ready to go to the next level. That one's going to be, the date for that it was such a big deal that I actually jotted the date down. And it is, somebody cover me while I look it up.
Well, Dave is here too. He could attest to his changes. I wonder how that site's doing anyway.
Oh, it's the June. It's going to be the webinar episode directly prior to June 30th, or maybe it's even on June 30th. So go back to the June 30th and watch that. David Keys is on there. Jimmy's talking on there. Sue's on there, and that was really. Like, I had a bit of a headache after that 20-minute segment because we really went deep. And Jimmy didn't completely cover all the exact backlinking, skeleton key kind of stuff, but it will get you really clear so that you don't over-optimize on-site. And that should also be on your radar for the person who just asked that question.
That's a true thing. I remember that webinar.
Yeah,
yes.
The June 30th webinar, I guess.
So I have people in the question box asking me, requesting things of me. And all I can say is, with as many times as I have said no on this webinar, you should know that any request should be prefaced at least with chocolate.
They're actually gonna think you're kidding. So I will let you guys know that there have been students that have sent chocolate before, and
it's getting a bit warm in Texas to have chocolate.
That's true, because it'll sit at your door and then it'll melt, and then so don't risk that. Don't risk that. You gotta find something else. So you're gonna have to come up with a new bribe.
A new drug?
A new bribe. All right. Hey, while everybody's there, for those of you, some of you have had a hard time finding Skype, if you go to networkempirenews.com, there is now an instant Skype button. All you have to do is click it, and it will contact me immediately, and that means you don't have to look up anything on your directory or anything like that. So I just wanted to let you know there is a cheat, to do that.
You should have stuck it on omg.soft.
Well, I haven't gotten to that yet. We will put that. No, Sue, back up at the top. It's in the sidebar widget. We're going to go ahead and add that.
This.
Yeah, see the add me to Skype, but no, below.
Oh.
Oh,
there it is.
Yeah, geez.
You could have made that bigger. Hello.
All right,
like,
I will.
With all of this other stuff.
Well, it's a plug-in widget. They didn't give me the ability to make it bigger, but I probably should make it bigger. But you guys, look at the wonderful Network Empire Certified Advisors, which you are all going to be eventually. Yeah, the Skype.
No.
Do we have to go over that for the next year?
I just keep seeing that picture.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, where were you? Well, we know where you were. You were asleep. That's after the brain dump on that. Peter's like, beer. Okay, so yeah, you can get that, and that'll get you guys right in there. So we are definitely over the 2-hour mark. And I'd like to close today with one final question. I would like somebody to, I'm going to go ahead and read this. Ask a question. This is actually harder than you think. I want you guys to answer a question. I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to answer it, okay? But I'm going to give you a reward. I don't know what it is. I'm going to make something up. I'm going to give you one of our plugins or something like this. For the most taboo, and it's got to be related to SEO and digital marketing, okay? Don't give me something like off in the adult industry or something, all right? Give me a question. I'm gonna look through the best one that you really that you really want to know, and I'm grading you for asking the right question, not on the fact that we will give you the answer, but that you feel like everybody's sliding around or it's a big secret in SEO or digital marketing, like the one. And it's got to be a specific question. Don't give me a general question like, how do I make money online? Craig Hannes. Give me the question like, how do I make money on Amazon? That's not it. Give me a specific question.
I have a question.
You always.
What's the most devious thing Jimmy has done in the last week?
Exactly. Something like that. All right, we have lots of questions coming in. Okay, let me just look at these for a second. Oh, this is good. There you go. There's some real questions. Finally, real questions. Jeff says, some things are better left behind closed doors. Okay, your loss. Dave.
Or at least behind the mute button.
Dave McCormick, good question. How do you rank a site in a day? But you weren't specific enough. For what position? Dave, that's a good one. Because I'm going to use some of these questions. I don't know how, but I'm going to do something with them. What's the best website structure for affiliate offers to convert using SEO? Okay, shoot, not terrible. God, these are great questions. How do you get Jimmy and Sue to do all the work and send you the money? Peter, that's the Gong Show. You've been voted off the island.
Send us money.
Yeah, Peter, it's pretty strange. It's pretty easy. You just give us all the money that we make. Let's see. Patrick is asking, how to utilize tier 4 bad properties for passing juice?
I convert the tier 4s to tier 1s.
Exactly. You got the right. Patrick, I know what you were trying to ask. Not a bad question. Paul, how does Cotton Grammar rank all of his clients? I'm going to let you ask Cotton that one. We're going to leave that one off the table. Mike McAfee, I'm not going to read that question out loud about Sue. I'll let her answer it. Sue, I'm going to let you handle that one. I'll let you handle him, unquote. Can I still mess around with blog comments in a non-competitive niche and rank on the first page? Hey, Jimmy, I think you can answer that one right now. That's not too secret.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Yeah. There you go, Nico. I'm still trying to determine what the best. I actually like Patrick's so far. I'm not Patrick's. Who was it? How can you rank for number one? Now that's the right question. When you're at Jimmy's live event, you can ask that question to him, okay? If you ever make it to live, or if you ever make it to a Network Empire live event. Fastest, we can definitely not answer that in a webinar. No way. And David Fripp's asking, fastest way to rank a low competition Amazon product. There you go, David. That's a little bit more clear. What is the fastest way to rank a low competition Amazon product on Amazon, seeing as it's been slightly Amazon themed? Okay. If it's not in the UK. Okay, that's a good one. Norman is asking, is there any way to use PBN sites that have been spammed or have SAP links to help rank a site? Jimmy, you could probably answer that one right now.
What's the question?
Norman's asking, is there any way to use, salvage you should probably say, PBN sites that have been spammed or have SAP links to help rank sites?
Yes.
Yes, okay. There you go. So that's all we can say. So these are great questions, you guys. How to utilize tier 4 bad properties for passing juice. Can I use tier, you've already said that one, Patrick. Oh, I see you made a slight deviation. Here's Craig's question. It's up for nomination. Is a high domain authority social property treated different from trust flow than a self-built site that has the same domain authority?
Why, yes, it does.
Well, yes, it does, Craig. Good for you.
That's a good question.
Okay,
that
Craig.
That is an excellent question.
Craig, Jimmy is giving you, is that the best one you've seen so far, Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay, Craig, so far you've won the whatever free thing I'm going to give away, which I haven't decided yet. Craig, actually, yes. Craig, so far Jimmy's giving you the thumbs up on the best question. Craig, you should contact me on Skype for whatever free thing I'm going to give you. That's a really good one. I'm going to read Craig's again. Is a high domain authority social property treated differently for trust flow than a self-built site that has the same domain authority? Do you guys catch that?
That is him starting to realize the question behind
yes.
the question.
He is, Craig, let me just say this, Craig. What Jimmy just said, if you follow the rabbit hole all the way down from that question, a couple of other better questions that if anybody asks here, I would give them the free plugin or whatever as I'm giving you instead. So you've got the question behind the question. Keep going down with that and do not forget that one, Craig. That's good. And you guys, I'm going to go ahead and put the question that he's got in there so you guys can spend time with it. Okay, you can spend time with it. We're not going to answer it at the end of this webinar today, but I just want you to know that recognizing the right questions is the first step of getting into the really important scientific research for your own testing case studies.
Yeah, because you got to think a lot of questions that people ask are all based on, the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
But really what they really want is the understanding behind the process.
Exactly. And we talk a lot about this actually in the way that you set up your sites for your customers, you guys, in our certification level 1 training, swallowyourmarketwhole.com training level 1. Almost everything we do, including setting up our silos and how to put your videos on your pages and how to position your products and do the keyword research and the long tail, it's all about the questions behind the questions. And there's even a deeper layer behind that, and it's called the pain behind the questions. So when you put all those together, what you guys are really asking, for instance, is, how do you make money on the internet? That's where all these questions lead ultimately. Not all of you, but if you're Jimmy, then it's just, he doesn't need to worry about Jimmy. We don't need to worry about it anymore because, you can do it left and right. So it's all about the fun. But at a certain point, you've got to get a return on investment. So that's the pain behind the question. Here's some more questions coming in. Is a PBN with a high trust flow, let's say 28 plus, but with a low domain authority, according to Moz, let's say 10, is that a good domain that will rank stuff pretty good? Or will that pretty weak because the domain and the PA? I liked Craig's question better.
Yeah, Craig's is good because he's trying to get to the understanding of it.
Yeah.
However, on that one, I mean, yeah, you're looking for about those metrics to get some good push with your links. So
Sherilyn says we all want to be in your millionaires club. Yeah, it's actually a hugely ambitious task, Sherilyn, that we have. I've talked to Sue. We've brought that original vision of our complete software system, because you guys know we have millions already invested in development on all of the suite of tools here. It really is my goal to, some people are more ambitious, but my goal is to create 100 millionaires with our software suite. What that means is that I'm not just saying like a hypey kind of business opportunity thing. I want people to be able to take, the mechanisms and the tools that you learn from Jimmy and Sue, and then the software combinations that's right for you, and generate 7 figures per year. And I know some of you in this call already have that, but I want you to actually be able to personally have a network, to break $1 million. I know that seems, for some of you, that might seem like a small goal, but we take a lot of beginners and intermediate people, and it's life changing. Like for some of you guys, $5,000 extra a month, or even $500 extra a month is a big change for you. Let me ask you guys this, because I was talking to Jimmy and Sue about something that Jimmy has created for beginners and intermediates. How many of you, $500 a month would completely transform and change your life? Give me a 1 if that's where you're at. I just want to know how many beginner entrepreneurs we have in here. And this has to do with something that Jimmy told me about.
See, so I have to create that course.
Well, I'll help. We can do that together. It's pretty, I'm definitely willing to help you.
I have it all down. I just have to jump on and do it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. Jeff is like, yeah, $500. Hey, it's
20 minutes of work.
$500, fun night at a strip club. Jeff, you're funny. Jeff, I suppose the strip club is something that could change your life. I'm actually talking about somebody where $500 is like the difference between you. I'm really trying to find out what level of income some of you guys are at. Okay. All right, so that gives me an idea. How many, give me another idea. How many are looking at $5,000 a month is where you're kind of at? Is that too big of a jump? Probably is.
You could create that 20-minute thing of work over and over and over and over again.
Okay. So Jimmy's bending my ear on something. There's just so many things. Our challenge is that we have opportunity stress, and we really, in order to give you guys stuff, so we want to get to know a little bit more about the Project Breakthrough community. And if it's okay with you guys, in the Director's Cut Project Breakthrough Network Empire Hybrid Skype room, I'm going to drop a questionnaire over the next day or so, and it's going to help me let Jimmy and Sue know more about where you guys are in your income, either as a digital agency or as an SEO, because we have several different things that we can be sharing with you. And I just want to make sure that I know where you're all at. Okay? All right, good. All right, so Craig, I think Jimmy has given you the thumbs up on the best question of the day. And I'm going to gather some of these questions up, and I'm going to keep them so that Jimmy and Sue can vote them on or off the island for Jimmy's little party shindig he's having in September, sorry. And we'll also keep them on the list. The questionnaire that I'll be trying to find out more about you guys, your income and what it is that you're doing and how you got involved with Project Breakthrough. I'll be adding that over the next 24 hours, and that will be in the Project Breakthrough Network Empire Hybrid Skype room. And most of you have contacted me, who are going to contact me. If you haven't, go ahead and click that button on Network Empire News, add me to the Skype room. Sue's already shown you where it is. And that'll help us get a handle on where you guys really are with some of these things, and help us steer the products and the information that we're providing for you. With that being said, Sue, is it okay if I go ahead and close this down?
Some people are asking what the 20-minute thing is. So I have a potential course.
Everybody's going to give you a 1 on Jimmy. If you start talking about it, they're all going to be in the state of anticipation.
Yeah, you should just make the course first, because I know how much is on your plate.
Yeah.
Make the course first. Don't
Let me make the course first.
Yeah, people are already starting to white knuckle and Jones for it, and we just the main thing the main thing that I want you guys to know is that we are in the process of getting to know you better. We really want to know, because we have a really eclectic group here. We have some of you. I started to set out, create this process so that I could help guide you through all of our tools and processes and courses and live trainings and events, I suddenly realized that we have 5 or 6 different types of people in our community, and all of you have very different, some buckets have different needs than the other buckets. So I'm almost at the bottom of finishing this, and then I'll be able to talk to the team about, what's right for you, and then we can start tailoring some of these product ideas that we have for you on that front. So we'll be looking at that in the, you can look for that in the Skype room. Wow, all of a sudden about 50 other additional people hit me.
Those are the bots I'm sending through.
Clearly, we are all opportunity seekers. Jimmy's like, 20 minutes of work, $500 a month. Yeah, geez, it's hard to pass that one up. Right? But it really is true. And I think having an inner circle with you guys, you have been so understanding and helpful in helping us get these post-beta. We like having this inner circle. I really do feel like the Director's Cut and the Project B community, OMG community, is like a family of people that we can talk to before we hit the mainstream with a lot of these things and get your feedback. So we all want you to know that we very much appreciate that, and we do talk to you about things that we do not talk to the general public about. And we get, bouncing ideas off of you has been very, very helpful. Okay, very, very helpful. So this is a way for us to thank you for all these things. I mean, there's so many opportunities when you have a level of skill that I have in my team that it's almost absurd, how to make $500 in 20 minutes, yeah, it's real. You can do it. All right, you guys, that gives me a lot of information. Dave Keys, we didn't bring you on live today. I missed you. All right, everybody's real.
I unmuted him during the call, but it wouldn't let me. So
yeah, he's probably playing that country music really, really loud. All right, one thing I would like to say in closing, you guys, is today was a little bit, you might have perceived today as being a little bit chaotic. Well, some days are like that. We're in the middle of a bunch of software launches. I want to thank you very much for helping us do that. And it'll settle down here. We'll get everybody in their proper rooms. And again, don't forget.
Settle down?
You're going to send everyone to their rooms?
Yep. Settle down and go to your proper room. I can't take you guys anywhere. It's just impossible. Now, just so you guys know, I am heading to, oh no, we have another webinar. Next week's webinar will be, I am heading to Austin here in a couple weeks, but that's a couple more webinars away. So it's going to get a little crazy because we're all going to be in the same town. So it's going to be a real big riot. So I'm heading over there in just a couple weeks. Next week's Project B webinar will be in the evening. So you can sign up at the same place, and a lot of you who are on the East Coast are going to be glad, or actually the East Coast, it's bad, right? Yeah. Those of you who have businesses in the middle of the day are going to like that evening time a little bit better.
While you're here, we should pick a night and have one of those open bar nights.
You guys want to have a Jimmy Kelley Network Empire cult meeting at a hotel somewhere? Anybody in Austin? Who lives in Austin?
Or somewhere close.
Dave is in Austin? Oh. Helene's in Austin? Who's in the Texas Austin area? Jonathan's like, I'll drive from Dallas.
The world is not ready.
The world is not ready. Okay, well, I got to tell you guys, there's amazing stuff happening inside of our organization, and I'm really, really glad. Why don't we do that? We're going to do that.
That would be great. Yeah, let's do that.
And, I got to tell you, it's hard to, Sue does so many things for all of our companies that it's sometimes hard to get her out, and I think this would really do it. I think this would get you out.
Just promise me tequila. I'll be there.
Here's the things that she likes. Can I give you a list of things that she likes? Okay. All right. Here's a list of things that Sue likes.
Don't make it the complete list.
Chocolate demand goes up, the prices go down.
Sue likes chocolate, tequila, and tequila.
Oh, phew. That was for chocolate. The other one.
Jimmy likes electronics And what else do you like,
Yes.
Jimmy?
I've been having fun with my drones lately.
How's the drone thing going?
The drone thing is awesome.
I read this thing where there was the guy shot a drone out of the sky with his shotgun because it was hovering over his property, and he went to court. The guy who lost his drone went to court to try to sue the guy, and he lost.
Yeah, I'm working on retrofitting the remote control because when you put on this extra boost for the transmitter,
Okay.
you can fly these things like, 3 miles out.
But are you going to let me fly it when I get there, or are you not going to let me fly it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I'll let you.
Don't do it.
It's
Especially not if you can mount the camera on it. That'd just be dangerous.
Well, actually, what I was thinking for was doing the aerial shots for the cert next year. So,
Okay.
like getting some aerial shots of people. I think that'd be cool.
That would be great. That would be a lot of fun. All right, you guys. So, Fran, I'm not going to repeat that. I'm surprised at you, Fran. I thought you were all spiritual and stuff. Oh no, that's cool. I got you. You guys are very, very cool. It's going to get a little bit crazy. Now, just a hint, if Sue is talking about meeting live and you guys are in the tech, if you're anywhere near Austin, you're going to want to be there. I will give you the details as soon as the team and I walk through it. So until next time, this has been the Project Breakthrough Network Empire live webinar. We'll see you in all the designated chat rooms. Again, the Deep Silo plugin beta test, jump in there. We look forward to seeing you on the inside, and we will see you next week. Thank you from the Network Empire team and from Jimmy Kelley. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.